The Locky two-step is on absolute fire as we've hit our fourth one in a row with the last UFC event. Hydra Emil and Dan Ige went out there and cashed the ticket for us at plus 134. I'm very happy with the performance of both of those fighters. Knew one of them probably should have ended up being the lock of the night prediction, but still happy to have them included in the Locky two-step so we can go out there, cash that ticket again, 4 in a row, 4-0 to start off 2024. Let's see if we can keep it rolling this weekend. The Locky Trinity is 2-2 through this 2024 campaign thus far. Obviously, it did not cash last time around at plus 249 as Robert Burchek put on a poor, horrendous, let's be honest, dog shit performance against Ihor Portierio, who came down a weight class and missed weight, but Burchek was unable to get him out of there, and we have to rip up our Locky Trinity ticket. But we are firmly entrenched in profit with the Locky Trinity as well, considering most of these plays are usually in the plus 240 to plus 250 zone. Very happy with that. So let's hope we can keep the positive trend going there and possibly cash one of those as well. I do want to quickly let you guys know that I'll be doing a KSW 91 full card breakdown, which will drop Friday afternoon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you want to get some regional action down, I'll be covering that card. But next week, I believe there's a total of 4 or 5 regional shows as well. I won't be doing any breakdowns for those on the YouTube, but you can find it on the Patreon page where you get a ton of other great information, content, props, parlays, in-depth breakdowns, all of that good stuff, all on the Patreon page for the Lock of the Night. Make sure you guys check that in the description below. Don't worry, I'll be doing a regular UFC Mexico City breakdown, and I'll also be doing a PFL versus Bellator breakdown for the public. Don't worry about that. It's just the other regional shows, which will strictly be on the Patreon page. All right, let's get into this Locky two-step that we got for UFC 298. The first step is going to be Mr. Danny Barlow as he takes on Josh Quinlan. Now, Barlow is going to be making his UFC debut here, but I think that this is a very solid spot for him to start it off with a bang. This guy is a nasty southpaw who does a great job in terms of using his left hand down the pipe, and he uses it with such speed and power that not a lot of opponents are able to deal with it. He has shown a great ability to go 15 minutes if he needs to, and harness that power throughout those 3 rounds so he can still go out there and hurt his opponents and keep them on the back foot. Quinlan may be looking to wrestle this time around, considering he suffered his first professional defeat last time around against another lengthy striker, but Barlow does have a wrestling background that I believe will be of use for him here as he keeps this fight upright and batters Quinlan and likely gets the finish within 2 rounds, but that's also why I have him as the first step in the Locky two-step. The second step that I got in the Locky two-step is going to be Merab Dvalishvili, who comes in and faces Henry Cejudo, former flyweight and bantamweight champion. Now is the time for Dvalishvili to break through to that next level. He was already supposed to get a title shot but refused it due to the closeness he was or had with the champion. We all know his relationship with Aljamain Sterling, but with Sterling now going up to 145 pounds and a different champion at this division, this seems to be the prime spot for Dvalishvili to make that run to the top. This is a solid stylistic matchup for him as he's going to be going up against Cejudo, who's a little bit on the back end of his career at this point in time, and I believe him retiring in 2020 was probably the worst thing that he could do in terms of trying to keep the momentum that he had going after that matchup and him trying to come back and get the title once again. Dvalishvili will have a size and strength advantage over him, but most importantly a cardio and activity advantage. This will allow him to mix in takedowns with high level output in terms of striking and takedown attempts, and even if he's not successful with the takedowns, it's just the ability to stay busy and stay in his opponent's face, which will cause Cejudo a lot of trouble. Unless Cejudo is able to finish him at a certain point here, I think the high activity and high output of Dvalishvili will be too much for him. So if you are looking to put those 2 steps together, you get the Locky two-step currently right now at plus 121. But if you had signed up to the Patreon page and got it on Monday, which is when I dropped it for those folks over there, you could have locked it in at plus 135. One of the benefits of hopping on the Patreon page. All right, If you want to make the Locky Trinity whole here, we're going to throw in Mr. Anthony Hernandez, who comes in and opens up the main card against Roman Kopylov. Hernandez is riding a 4-fight winning streak, but people are starting to see why he was such a big deal when he came over from the LFA and the Contender Series, and now is finally starting to get that groove under his belt where he can go out there and showcase a high output type of style, whether it's his chain wrestling and submission attempts or just staying in his opponent's face with combinations and kicks. He does a great job in terms of putting his opponents through the ringer, eventually breaking them, and then finishing them in the second and third round, or just going out there and winning a decision. This guy is all output, all gas, no breaks. I love that about him. Kopylov will be dangerous early with the technical striking advantage that he'll have here, but I think he's going to struggle with the pace and pressure that Hernandez puts on him, allowing Hernandez to eventually sink in a choke in the second or third round, and hopefully completing and cashing the Locky Trinity. If you locked it in earlier this week when I dropped it for the Patreon folks, you could have gotten plus 247. Unfortunately, there has been action coming in on this parlay and these specific legs and spots, hence why it is now down to plus 210. Hopefully, we can cash the Locky Trinity once again, the Locky two-step and Locky Trinity. That would be great. Hopefully we can. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for the top 3 best prop bets for UFC 298, as well as a KSW 91 breakdown. See you guys then.